I do a lot of back and forth talking with Mr. Baltic Blades
Yeah.
throughout the week, as probably everyone does. I mean, all the knife makers. I think he talks to a lot of people. He had a good one. Hey, Matt, are you ready? Ready for this one?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Why is it always me?
I don't know what we were talking about you for some reason, and then I just put FRY Europe, right? Because he's the one that came up with that. And
Try Europe, yeah.
yeah, Fry instead of DIY Europe. And he wrote, the Germans tried that once, and now Matt's doing it again.
The Fry Europe.
That's a good one.
Yeah, back after Christmas, guys. So usually we start our week with a little explanation of what's been going on, but I'll do a quick recap for all of us. Family came, everybody ate too much. Your uncle drank a little bit too much and started some shit around the house. And that's probably about it, right? Does that sound right for you guys?
Pretty much, yeah.
Apart from the uncle. But
then maybe it was your aunt. Who knows what you guys do in the Netherlands?
maybe I am the uncle.
It could be, yeah.
Damn.
We got a cool episode, I think. We have a special guest. She owns her own production knife retail shop. Yeah, I said her, in case you guys didn't get that. With not many females in the knife industry, but we have Maxi from the Knife Lounge with us tonight.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Is this the first time, right? Female guest?
First female guest, but she is an experienced podcaster. She has a podcast in the German language.
Yeah, we tried 2 episodes, but it's in English, but it's more fluently in German.
Try doing one in English with 2 guys from Austria. That's horrible.
So, Maxi, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into like the knife industry? And
It's all about my father. I would say my father was a master bladesmith, and he owns the Altona Silberwerkstatt. It's always a knife shop, but we also did some work on silver stuff like silver plating and silver repair. My father was also a master in galvanizing. I don't know if this is a job description in English as well. So it's everything with silver plating and gold plating.
Mm-hmm.
And we always had knives in our shop, but the usual things like production kitchen knives from big companies like Wüsthof or folding knives from Boker. And a couple of years ago, we are now more and more growing into the far world, like knife makers from Australia or the United States. And a lot of things in our shop are made or designed in the US.
so more custom knives, or
Yeah, a couple of custom knives, but most of them are production knives.
mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, as we started, I never could imagine that people spend so much money on knives. It's always overwhelming, and at some point I realized I'm also one of them. you know the knife shows, and the lotteries and all that stuff. It's an amazing world.
Yeah, I think that's something that most people that are not into knife making or in the knife industry, they don't realize how much money changes hands between people for custom knives and even production knives. I mean, people think of a pocket knife, they think $20, $15, something like that for a knife, and when you tell them you spent $400 or $500 for a pocket knife, they think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not. People spend money on, how do I say that? On worse stuff.
But it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of a jewelry thing, because it's knives are also fashionable. We have trends in knives and knife making, and new materials, and it's always like that. It's like a fashion thing for your pockets. It's like pocket jewelry.
Yeah, especially with the EDC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very big world.
So is there a knife making material trend, a new one you can see on the incoming, or like I would say I don't know, fat carbon a couple of years ago or something like that?
For like handle material, I'm not really sure. I think vintage micarta kind of stuff is really cool, but I would say in the last couple of years, at least for steel, on the steel side, it would be like copper Damascus. I think that's a huge trend right now.
Yeah, and Apex, right? I mean, Apex is also a huge trend.
Apex Ultra. Yeah.
Apex Ultra is so awesome. I have a couple of knives now from Apex Ultra, and they're amazing.
What makes it awesome? What do you like the most on
I'm not a knife maker, so I like I'm a maker, but I don't. It just feels hard as hell.
No, it is.
Yeah. No, but even when using the knife, it's just different. I don't know how to explain it actually, but it's just very tough.
It takes a very, very fine edge, Apex, right?
Yeah.
And you can grind it very thin. So it's an awesome steel for kitchen blades, so chef knives and stuff. So very thin blades, and it's super tough and super hard. It has a very, very good edge retention. So that's why there's such a big hype around Apex.
Okay, got it.
And that's also the reason why you only see it in laminates, because nobody wants to hand sand the whole thing, just the edge.
I mean, there is a few people who did mono steel blades out of Apex, right? Derek Wolf for the Klingen for Gutes knife, and Ben from Alp Knives did a few, I think. Apex Ultra mono steel blades, but usually it's used in laminates. That's right.
And it's easy to work with, or it's
No, it's a pain in the ass to work with. I mean, that's a trade-off you almost have to all the time, right? It's hard to forge because you have to be very accurate with the temperature. You must not be too hot because then you burn the steel. You have to be careful when grinding, and it's a pain in the ass to hand sand. So it's very tough material to work with. But I think it's worth the money and worth the time you spend on it. That's for sure. But I don't know how it does with or it works for EDC blades. I've never done one out of Apex. I don't even know if it works for hunting knives.
Don't know either.
But it's your first choice for kitchen knives,
yes,
right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, if it doesn't have to be stainless. If you have to have a stainless or rust-resistant steel, then Apex is not a very good choice. But if you're not that worried about a patina on your knife, then Apex is a very good choice for a kitchen knife. Yeah.
I never had one.
Do you also sell kitchen knives in your shop? Because I'm browsing through your shop. It's knifelounge.com, right? So that's your shop.
Yeah, there are two shops. The other one is Altona Silberwerkstatt, and this is the Knife Lounge is more for pocket knives or fixed knives or EDC.
Okay.
And the Altona Silberwerkstatt is, I think it's better for a kitchen knife there. But we are also started to get some Martin Huber knives.
Oh, cool.
But they are not online yet.
Okay, don't put them online.
On a website.
Instead, get some of Albert's knives and put them on. Way better.
No.
But they will come in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So you chef knives, or what kind?
Chef knives, yeah, and one bread knife.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But what do you think is a trend right now in pocket knives or EDC knives? Because you're probably the best informed out of the three of us.
Yeah.
In that part it's I think we have still the Magna Cut trend, handle materials. I'm not sure. We had those Ultim thing a couple of months or a couple of years ago, a year ago maybe. It was a new thing. Everyone wants with handles with Ultim or Ultim beads and something like that. And I don't see something new. But vintage micarta is always a great thing because it tells its own history, and it fits perfect to handmade knives because they are always have a soul. You know, all handmade stuff is kind of special, and so I think old material fits perfect to handmade knives.
It's really like a one of a kind piece of handmade material. Each one, you'll never find one that's the same.
Yeah, and you imagine when you buy or sell a knife on a show, you can tell a story about your work and you can tell a story about the material. Maybe it was used in an old bench or an old products from, don't know, from World War II or something like that. It's amazing. And it's also amazing, in my opinion, that you can make with nearly everything handle materials. You know, I don't know how you do that, but it's always amazing to see some, how can I say it, Bible paper or, you know.
That would be a good one for Andy, Albert.
I'm gonna make your knife out of Bible material.
Do it. That would be great.
But is this allowed to tear up a Bible and make hell material out of it?
No, don't tear it up. Just treat it with respect.
Yeah, but how would that work?
Whatever you do it respectfully. Yeah, you can tear up. I think tearing up sounds very harsh. You could just say like, "Can I turn it into a?" Then yes, but
okay.
Like, you know, what are you planning on tearing it up like a? You know, like some madman.
No, but you could do paper micarta out of an old Bible, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, or out of an old singing book, and then you can sing always a song.
Yeah,
maybe you can. You can still see the notes.
So I'm the guy that always does the teases on the show. Albert made a knife with some very interesting handmade material that we can't talk about, but maybe after the show he'll tell you.
Yeah.
Why can't you talk about it?
No, but it's because it's top secret.
Top secret.
Top.
But
top
why?
secret.
But you can say why it's top secret without spilling the beans.
Because nobody should know.
Yeah. I mean, that's analytically true. It's secret because nobody should know. Of course. I mean, that's what secret means.
You guys are awful.
I know, but I'll tell you later. But so Maxi, Magna Cut is still a trend.
Yeah, it's yeah. You know, a couple of years ago it was M390 was most rated, the best rated steel for everyone, and now it's Magna Cut. So I don't think it's not anymore M390. It's Magna Cut, but it's not only because it's a steel, it's because there's a real human being behind the steel.
You mean Larry Thomas?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's not always about steel and carbonite or something like that. It's also about people.
Isn't that factory shut down?
Yeah.
Or was it another one?
No, it was this one.
No, but on February the 4th they will sell out Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there is a small risk that they need to change the name of Magna Cut because Crucible owns the rights on the name.
Mm-hmm.
But there's gonna be a steel around with the same composition, but just under a different name, then, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
They can always make the steel, but the name is owned by Crucible right now, and you don't know what happens after the February 4th.
Okay.
But there are some buyers around, so.
Mm-hmm.
I would just add an N somewhere in the name.
Come on.
Magnum Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magnum Cut.
That's what he
Exactly
meant.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what I meant.
So do you guys all run an Instagram account?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I have one. I'm not running it currently. It's been dead for a while.
Is this for a reason, dead for a while, or is it just...
Keith took over all my business.
Yeah, I've been working on Matt for a couple of years and he didn't know it, and then now I own everything that he did.
Yeah.
Ooh. all the passwords.
Yeah, he worked me out of the market.
And how do you advertise yourself or your brands?
Well, I personally didn't. I just teamed of or basically provided a service for people with an audience. That's how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So in America, you have Housemaid. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Housemaid Industrial, and they basically design grinders and forges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what I did is I reached out to him and I made metric versions of his products and sold them here.
You mean for the rest of the world?
For the knife makers, yeah.
I mean for the metric system.
Yeah, for the logical people, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I basically just advertisement wise I leaned on their platforms.
Yeah, that makes sense. They are the bigger part, right?
Yeah, it's easier for me to do it like that. But now I don't have to worry about that anymore.
But talking about Instagram, is your Instagram account shadow banned, Maxi?
What do you mean with shadow ban? I have those. Not all my pictures will be shown to non-followers.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I have made my homework. I read the community standards, regulated goods. I changed the age. Only
over 18.
People over 18 are only people are over 21 now. I changed it because I want to try it out, but it's not working.
Okay.
So for some reason, blades are regulated goods, but even Instagram don't know about it. So they don't follow their own rules, in my opinion. But I'm shadow banned. And you guys?
Yes. Although, I mean, we mostly do chef knives, and chef knives are excluded from this regulated goods thing. But still, I mean, there's some algorithm that flags one of your posts, and then they have you, right? So
it's all like an algorithm thingy that it doesn't seem like you're ever going to get out of that.
No, I mean, you can start deleting your posts, but then they'll just find a new one.
Exactly. Yeah. I wouldn't do that.
No, we stopped doing that because it didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the problem. Even though I'm not selling knives, I'm just selling handing materials. Where like a piece of G10 would get flagged, and they would say that I was trying to sell weapons. And I think I deleted maybe 2 posts, and then I stopped doing it. And then all of a sudden, I got shadow banned because I had the word knife in my name, knifematerial.at.
That's
so ridiculous. Just 5 minutes ago, when I tried to go to your website, Maxi, like my browser gave me a thingy like this is not a safe website.
Oh.
And I actually had to like accept it, and then it'll take you there.
But, really?
Yeah.
No, it's a very dangerous site.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very it's very dangerous. You might start spending some money. So.
It's a buyer's warning.
Yeah.
It's strange. So I was wondering. It's kind of frustrating this Instagram thing because we also spend money for the pictures we made for Instagram, and you obviously want that a lot of people want to see them, and on the other hand, our customers want to show their knives, and and you always see these beautiful pictures of knives or EDC stuff, and it's wow. And now it's only you can see only the pictures you have you are following. But on the other hand, it's more like you see more collaboration posts. So it's more like, how can I tell it? We feel like outlaws, and it band us much more together. It's maybe one of the good parts if you want to see some good parts on it. But my biggest fear is that all the other social media channels will do the same. Do you run other social media? Like, for example, X,
Facebook.
Pinterest?
I don't know about Pinterest. I think Facebook also works, but it will have the same problems. And I think that X will be the best platform in time, but it's not there yet.
Okay.
I don't think they mess around with stuff like that.
I have a Facebook account, but I'm not very active on it. When I started in 2019, when I first started, I probably did like 90% of my business on Facebook. I think.
Yeah, in those groups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think for the age group that are on Facebook right now, those are the people that have the money and they're willing to spend it, and it does pay to do an advertisement. I just, for some reason, Instagram started picking up, and I haven't really spent much time on Facebook lately.
So we also run our own Facebook group, and in my opinion, it is the best thing.
Yeah,
it's a very good thing for knife makers.
Yeah, that's true. It's because you have like groups, and people are. If you have like a big group, it's more like a community, like your own community or something. It's like on Facebook, people take the time to really read, really look at stuff, and Instagram is more like it's like an attention span of like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Facebook groups they're more focused on exactly what you're doing.
It's like the newer version of those forums you had back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if you need like car parts or stuff, you'd go to a forum. And you have like Facebook groups is now that kind of space.
I was actually thinking about to install a forum on my website, just in case you don't know what Meta is doing with Facebook groups in a couple of months or years.
Yeah.
I think actually, like if you're following American politics and stuff, I think Zuckerberg is on the way to less restrictions.
I have heard something about that he don't want to check the fake news anymore.
Yeah, and his board of directors, do you know the Dana White, the owner of the UFC?
No.
Well, he's like one of those free speech kind of guys, and he's now in the board of directors at Meta. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, and if you know what kind of a guy that is, he's not gonna be okay with. I mean, he loves knives and shit as well, so so it's actually good.
So this is a good part, you mean?
I think that's a good part. Yeah.
So, and you think it would be it could be rolling back the restriction on Instagram as well, maybe?
I don't know about that. Yeah, well, I think because some people say some people think that there's like a shit ton of people working at Meta that are shadow banning like knives and stuff, but it's just an algorithm thing, and they don't control that. I mean, they can if you file like a complaint, they can work something out. But like in comparison, the knife community is so small. I don't think they're ever gonna take the effort to fix it like manually.
Yeah, I think the same. We are just we're just a small part of
very small
the
part.
world. Yeah, it is. I think it's mostly a good thing because it makes us so more bending together.
Yeah,
it feels like it, and I also think that in the Facebook group the people are more interested in your pictures than on Instagram, and they are more communicative on Facebook than on Instagram.
And people just buy, like if you look at like if you're spending money on ads and stuff, the return on Facebook is way higher than on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Like with 1/10 of the reach on Facebook, you'll get like double the sales. than on Instagram.
I think their advertising algorithm targets your customer better than it does on Instagram, for sure.
It's really like you'll have buyers on there, people that are really interested in stuff, and Instagram is just a visual type thing. They just want to look at naked women and stuff like that.
So are there Facebook groups you are following or you are in? Or are you just not on Facebook anymore?
Well, it's more in the Grindr and the Forge world than into the knives itself. Mm-hmm. So that's for me. I don't know about the other two.
Yeah, I used to be in a lot of groups on Facebook, but I think like even the DIY Grindr, like the Grindr forums and stuff, you get a lot of new knife makers, and you get a lot of people that have an opinion and they don't have the experience to back it up. Yeah. So for me, it just became too much to listen to all the people talking out of their ass and not knowing what. Yeah.
I should just get into the food business, because if you just make one reel and there's some food in it, then it'll go viral every time. It's ridiculous. It's just you make no effort into your social media, into your profile, and you'll just get every reel is like 20K views every time, but no sales. So it doesn't really work.
But do you run a Facebook group as Knife Maker?
No, I mean I am on Facebook, but I'm not. If you know what I mean. I do have a Facebook account, but I'm not active. All I do is repost stuff that I post on Instagram. So.
Oh yeah.
There's this
because it's an automatically.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's what I do as well.
So
I did as well.
That's all I do on Facebook. Yeah. And I've never been in any Facebook interest groups or.
I see.
Something like that. No, I don't really like Facebook, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you are younger than us.
No, I don't know. Not necessarily, but it's so much uninteresting information, right? So if you log on to Facebook, there's like all these posts I'm not really interested in, and even if certain interest groups and stuff that might be somewhat interesting, most of the postings that show up on my feed are not really that interesting to me. So no. And I don't like the visual appearance of Facebook, to be honest. So Instagram is much more appealing to me.
No, it is. It's a visual. It's more for fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you want some information about a type of thing, then Facebook is better.
Yeah. Is it though? You mean because you can ask people or what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing for knife makers, because in a Facebook group you get more visibility time for your customers than on Instagram, or in other words, you have not the competition in a Facebook group than you have on Instagram with other.
Yeah, this might be. Yeah, I've talked to other knife makers that are a bit older, and they sell a lot of stuff on Facebook. Actually, that's true. Yeah, but I still don't like it. So.
And what about YouTube? What do you think about YouTube?
We do have a YouTube channel, but we only upload like what's it called? These shorts, I think, these short videos. But I mean, we just bought the equipment to do YouTube videos, so we're in the phase of starting a YouTube channel, because we do a lot of machine restorations, especially power hammer restorations and stuff, and there's not that many YouTube videos that show any of these kind of things, right? So this might be interesting to machinists and other bladesmiths, how to do like a proper power hammer restoration, for instance. But it takes time. I mean, I do the editing on a podcast, and this takes me like 4 to 5 hours every week, so I don't have the time to do editing for a YouTube channel now. But Matt volunteered; he's gonna do the editing for the podcast.
That's good. No,
from now on, so I can do
okay,
YouTube.
Deal.
No.
Deal. Yep.
This reminds me on those calming videos on YouTube where old machines are restored.
Yeah.
You know
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Maybe you can do something like that, and it's always so calming with music, no voice.
Yeah, but you need to explain some stuff when you do like power hammer restoration, I think. So
Well, you can just say that and then let AI put the like subtitle stuff.
okay.
How do you say that?
Yeah, subtitles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't really know what we're gonna do.
it's a good idea though.
But Andy wanted to buy the equipment, so now we have like a Sony Alpha camera and
Oh Lord,
like-
see,
mics and
it's
mic,
always the same. with these
mics and everything. So yeah,
I've never sat here on like 1 week and it's like now we're done. We're done buying anything. It's just we're
No,
done.
never.
We're never,
Never.
buying anything anymore.
Did you see
And then
what
next week? Oh, we
Matt?
No.
Did you see what we bought?
no.
We bought
did you-
we bought your forge, the Apollo. You saw
Oh, really?
Keith sold it to us. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're such a cheeky bastard, Keith.
Yeah, but it was pimped out beyond belief. There, this is like
It was
the best
already the
Apollo
most
forge
beautiful
ever.
forge.
Yeah, it is.
It was already the best one. Now it's double the. That thing is worth like $500,000 now.
Yeah, but did you know what the first thing that happened was?
The doors fell off.
No,
Oh.
no, we fried the thermocouple because
Ah.
Is it really dead now?
it's really dead now. Yeah.
Okay.
So we
Damn.
fired it up once because Keith only tested it up to 850 degrees Celsius, and that's way too low for forging.
Keith.
And we fired it up to 1,000, whatever, 200 or 1,300 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And then we fried the thermocouple. Yeah. So yeah, we have to get a new thermocouple, like a proper one,
better
a
one.
better one. Yeah, the right one, a
Yeah.
Type S. We need to get.
Hmm.
But it's a very, very efficient forge. Holy shit.
It is.
It can get up to forge welding temperature, I think, at 5 psi.
Yeah, and you can still like when the thing is at forge welding temperatures, you can still put your hand on it.
Yeah, but you need so little gas because 5 psi is nothing. I mean,
Yeah, it was 0.3
bars. Yeah, bar.
bars. Yeah.
It's insane.
It's
man.
insane because with our old forge, we needed, I think, twice as much gas.
Well, that saves a lot of money.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, when I changed the hoses over from your old forge to that one, you were running at 1.5 bar, and you were getting the same temperature at 0.03.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's a very good forge. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did our first forging class today with it, by the way. It worked pretty well.
Are you
Pretty
giving
well.
everyone like a card from Keith's shop so they can buy one?
No, it's not knife makers this time. It's like chefs and
Oh.
machinists and stuff. So it's not
Oh, okay.
it's not
Boring.
Keith's customer base
Boring.
this time. Yeah.
Not yet. They are. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, they will
They
be. Yeah.
They will be. Did you receive the pallet, Keith?
No, not yet. No.
Oh.
Shipping right now with the Christmas time is crazy. You don't
Yeah,
know
it's horrible.
how many emails I get from people asking where their package is because it's been 2 days and they don't have it yet.
Imagine when you ship stuff from China. It's horrible. If you think shipping, like when you're doing the shipping yourself, is horrible, try drop shipping.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm sure Maxi knows all about shipping problems. Do you guys have a lot of problems shipping or receiving shipments and stuff from the US? You guys get a lot of knives and
We got a lot of knives, but I think it's okay-ish. But you know, if you ship to certain countries, you have your problems with Great Britain, for example. UPS in Great Britain is not fitting very good, and UPS in Switzerland is not a very good deal. Yeah, and it's everything. It's more and more difficult from year to year. But yeah, it's we ship with DHL and UPS.
But you sell your stuff all over the world, right? Or is it just Europe?
Yeah.
Where do most of your customers come from? Is it German-speaking countries or Europe, or where do most?
Yes, the first one is Germany, then is Austria, and I think then it's maybe the US or it's Netherlands.
Oh yeah.
One of the best countries in the world.
A lot of knife nerds in the Netherlands.
yeah, you had an interesting episode not too long ago. You talked with Christian Linder about some knife laws and small business problems and things like that. Can you tell us a little bit about the German knife laws or the upcoming German knife laws for people who aren't in?
I'm just gonna get annoyed. I
Oh
already
my
know
God.
it. Yeah.
You want to open that box, right?
Yeah, I want to hear about it because Austria, or at least Austria, had a really relaxed knife law, but they're trying to change it here also. But tell us about Germany. What's going on in Germany?
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with the actual knife laws or with that from the last year version.
Is there a new one?
So-
I didn't know that. Okay.
There's a new one. It's allowed to carry knives with a fixed blade under 12 centimeters and one-hand opening and non-locking folding knives.
Yeah, but that's always been the case, right? That's
Yeah,
that's paragraph
that's-
42A or something, right? So
Yes, and you know about the automatic knives?
no.
They are strictly forbidden. All of them.
Yep.
They were allowed up to a blade length to 8.5 centimeters, and now they are all forbidden.
An automatic knife is a spring-loaded knife, or what is an automatic knife?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's a spring-loaded knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forbidden to buy and sell or forbidden to carry?
Forbidden to buy and sell in Germany.
Okay.
That's awful.
And it's not allowed to carry a knife on the ICE, on the public trains anymore, and it's also not allowed on to carry a knife in the in Hamburg as well in the public service. So even the small Victorinox Classic
Yeah.
it's no longer allowed to have it on you traveling via the ICE in Germany.
Yeah, they went pretty viral, I think, because it was unfortunately the horrible thing happened in Magdeburg after that. But apparently they searched some old lady that had like a Victorian.
Oh, that was an awesome video. I mean, a horrible video, but
Yeah,
it just
but
shows how stupid it is.
it just shows how ridiculous it is. They're like, there's fucking two police officers searching an old lady and she has some nail clipper in her handbag. It's just awful. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and it's also not allowed to carry a pepper spray or something for your self-defense. For women if they are traveling by night.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, you shouldn't have opened this can of worms. It's just they'll let whoever the hell they like everything that breathe that can get into this country, like, or every country in Europe, and then they're gonna search old ladies and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that you have those bistros on the ICE, and you can buy their food, and you get a knife with that food.
That's what I wanted to ask, if they still serve food on the IC.
It's just
it's
insane, right?
Yeah.
But why is that? Has there been some incidents, or why is that? Why did they change the law?
Yeah, there were also some incidents on trains. Yeah.
With knife attacks? Or...
With a knife.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Knife attacks.
well, but they keep calling it a knife problem, but it's not a knife problem. It's the people
No,
that
it's
do
not.
it.
Yeah, of course we all know that, but
And those are-
I know, but I wanted to know what was the reason for the law to get changed. So
Yeah, but that is the reason, because they refuse. They don't want to call it what it is, so they're going to blame the knives. The knives, you know. That's I think that's the sole reason. There's no other reason why people
No,
walk around.
it's the
Victorinox.
people higher up that have pressure on them, and then it might be election year, and they need to make themselves look good, like they're doing something. So they just add a law and hope that everybody thinks they're safe by it. But it's not changing
call it
anything.
They call it a knife epidemic in the UK, and that's also it's just let's give it a fancy name, a knife epidemic, and then the knives are the problem. People stabbing, that's not a problem, but it's the actual thing.
So when did this happen? The change in the law last year, you said, right?
No, this is. I think it was October this year.
Oh, okay.
October last year. It's October 24. I get if I remember correctly, And there was there was a couple of knife attacks, and yeah, I also think that the politicians have two ways to think about it. The first thing is you can't do anything about it because knife attacks happened since day one of knife using, and the other reason is we need to do something because it looks good, and and this may or maybe not a clever decision, and now we have this knife laws, and I think we will still have knife attacks, so it's
of course,
and everyone is thinking that. I think even the politicians.
Like all those knives that they've made laws for now, stricter laws, those knives are still there. And if someone wants to do something that is already illegal, like you cannot stab someone, he's going to do it regarding of that law of not.
Yeah, but the reasoning behind this is that you can take the knife away from him before something's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
that's
pre-crime. Yeah.
That's the reasoning behind it. I mean, the question not whether it works, I mean, it's an empirical question and we'll see, right? So no one knows.
I know
whether
it's not going to work.
Yeah, you think that, but...
Yeah.
But
are they going to ban cars now as well? That would be way more effective.
Imagine 2 years from now on, they see that the knife attacks are still on the same level. Will they bring back all the laws because they don't
of course not.
see any effort?
Yeah.
They have never ever.
That's a good point. Yeah, they won't.
They've never ever done that ever. It takes something else to bring those rights back.
I think they did it. They did it once in Denmark. Denmark has a couple of years ago very, very strict knife laws, and I think they saw they thought that they did not a good decision because there were a lot of fishing people who could not anymore bring their knives with it, and it impacts on the tourism, and so they de-restricted the knife laws.
Okay.
That's what I have heard, but I don't know if this is a
it
true
makes
story.
sense.
So if I want to go fishing in Germany and go there by using the IC, I can't bring my knife. Even if
You can.
The question is the question behind this is even if I have a proper reason to bring a knife, it's illegal to have a knife on an IC.
You always have those. You need a reason to bring your knife, and if you are.
So you're a chef and you're on the way to your
work,
and you have your knife bag with you or whatever.
Yeah.
And
okay, that will work. Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
But then again,
sure.
is fishing a good reason to carry?
No, I think that's all up to interpretation from the police officer that confronts you about it, and I think there's also. Isn't it also that it needs to be like you need to be able to have like three steps in order to get to your knife or something? It has to be locked up in a bag and then in something else or something like that. Is that part of the rule?
Exactly. It's you are not allowed to carry your knife on your body, but it needs to be 3 steps away, whatever that means. It's 3. I don't know the word in English, but in German it's Handgriff. 3
easy access. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
like
that's
carry and stuff like that.
So and right now I run a knife business and I photograph knives at home, but I need to bring them from my company to home, and I always use public transportation, and it's kind of I always have my lock on my bag now.
It's just insane. And you also just mentioned that you cannot carry pepper spray.
Yeah, it's not allowed anymore in the public service. And
what can women in particular do to protect themselves?
So I changed my pepper spray into a whistle. Isn't it funny?
A whistle?
Yeah, to allow noise.
I know. Oh my god.
Yeah.
but you can't really defend yourself with a whistle. You just can make
It's-
noise.
But it's allowed.
yeah, I know. But Matt's question was what can you do to defend yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can like. Oh my God, you just like yeah.
You can. I think they want that you unpack your backpack and got your pepper spray out if you when you are leaving the train, and repack it when you are enter the train. So this,
Yeah. As long as there's a company out there that doesn't start calling it a tactical whistle, then it'll be okay. Soon.
yeah.
Yeah, a whistle epidemic.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But why pepper spray? I mean, that's not lethal, right? So why is pepper spray?
And it's a perfect. It's one of the best things that you can carry that actually works.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're like, I personally think that every female should carry a handgun.
Of course
But,
you do.
Yeah, I really do. But
I strongly
pepper spray,
disagree.
I
No,
I don't.
not every.
Not
Not
every.
No,
No,
but you know what I
no.
mean.
I mean,
like for self-defense, yeah, I think especially in this day and age, a handgun is more than necessary.
Sure, with the right training. With training.
Yeah, of course. But pepper spray is perfect. You know, it's not lethal as Albert mentioned, and it works really well. You know, so I can't see why they wouldn't allow that. It's ridiculous beyond belief.
Maxi, I would recommend, and this is kind of a whole nother rabbit hole to get into,
Yeah.
like some
Just-
kind
just-
of
Just let
some
me
kind
let-
of
just add one thing. It's just
Yeah.
because is I don't know. I only know about rules in Hamburg, and there is pepper spray not allowed anymore. So please don't. If your listener think it's for whole Germany the same, I don't know. This
Okay.
yeah.
Do they have different per city, like
Yes.
different rules? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and not the cities, like the estates in Germany.
yeah, that's a problem in its own because it's not very clear. And me also as an Austrian being on the border of Germany, what does that mean for me? If I go over into Germany, I need to follow the German laws all of a sudden now, and I
Yeah,
should
you
know
need to
them.
follow the laws of each town you are moving. You are
Yeah,
traveling.
yeah.
It's
So put your knife in. Do they have like safety deposit boxes I can lock my stuff up in, and when I come back and get it, or
maybe something like that. And how are the knife rules in Austria? Is everything allowed?
It's better, I think.
I think Albert knows a little bit more about that because he just had to get his gun carrying permit in order to keep up with those rules,
They
right?
wanted to change the law, as far as I know, but they didn't. So
Yeah.
they wanted to make carrying a knife also illegal out in the open and in the public. But there was an election and they didn't pass the law yet. So
It's just, I think it's very cool that you can actually carry guns, right?
no. We can
You
own.
can have them.
Yeah, you have to make a license, like a gun permit.
Yeah, of course.
But
yeah.
you can't carry. I mean, unless you have a very, very good reason, you can't carry a gun.
Okay.
So carrying a gun is not legal unless you're like a judge or something or police officer.
No, you're allowed to go to and from the shooting range, and you
Yeah.
should probably be part of a gun club in order to make it a little bit more official, at least in the police officer's eyes.
Yeah, but
I
you
think
don't
it's the
have to.
same here.
You have to be. You don't have to be a member of a gun club. You can.
Oh, really?
No, you can apply for your gun permit, and then if you have to do a
really?
psychological
No, you-
evaluation. No, you have to do the.
Yeah.
We call it psychotest. So
Yeah.
a psychological evaluation, and then you have to
And you
make.
passed?
Of course, I did. What do you mean? Barely, but I made it.
Barely.
Are you dangerous? Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Do you want to kill someone? Yes. No.
Do you make knives? Yes.
No.
Denied.
It was actually too easy, to be honest, to get the permit. So I think Austria is too liberal with the gun laws.
No.
I think it's too easy to get a gun.
Oh, you are. No, they're not.
No, we are for rifles. So every gun it's not fully or half automatic. You don't even need a license, right? So everyone can go to a gun shop and get like a hunting rifle.
Really?
Yeah,
That's very
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
That's
Any-
very,
any-
very good.
Any bolt action, so
Yep.
you put one shot in,
Nice.
shoot it, and then you have to reload. Is anybody can have one?
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Wow.
one is good enough.
You can buy a sniper rifle if you want to
Yeah.
Nice.
without a gun permit. Yeah, and that's too liberal.
I like if I was president of the Netherlands, I would like the line for me would be at like rocket launchers. You can't use a rocket launcher. The rest you just openly carry.
Yeah, because you live in like a flat country, so that rocket would go pretty far.
Yeah,
But
It
fly
would
all
reach
the way to
Belgium or
Germany.
Yeah.
Yep, not hit a thing.
No, it's too easy to get a gun in Austria, I think.
No, it's not. It's perfect. No, it's not. It's actually, I think it's the same. But here you need to be part of a gun club, or there was something else. I was just reading about it the other day.
Yeah, hunters, right? For hunters, it's usually
Yeah,
easier.
hunters, and there was something else that was ridiculous. It was like if you need it for signaling, or when with like marathons and stuff, you use the gun.
Ah,
to
yeah.
start.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was like, I'm just gonna do that so I can carry a gun.
So if you have a gun only for firing warning shots, it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you still need to apply, and you can't have a criminal record and stuff.
Yeah. So Maxi, I was gonna say before, because you said
Sorry.
that you carry a whistle. There's a lot of companies that make like high-end flashlights, which is like a whole nother world to get into. And some of those flashlights have a strobe setting, and the strobe setting I think is probably more effective than the whistle. So what it does is flashes really, really, really fast and bright, like the high power LED in your face, and it completely disorients you. So your pupils of your eyes are trying to focus on the light, and they open and close, and they can't keep up with the light, and it pretty much
Yeah,
blinds the person you're shining at.
You really can't see a thing.
You can't see
if
anything,
Someone's
yeah.
using that.
That's a good idea. I will change it again. Or I will upgrade my whistle.
Yeah. Take the whistle on the
Yes.
thing. It's used
Yeah.
both.
I hope
This
I
is so
don't look.
ridiculous.
I hope I can point it to the right person, not to me. It's
You could also use it you could take like a big screwdriver or something, like a really big one. That's legal, right?
I think so. Yeah, it's
Very sharp.
no. I don't think it's not. I don't think it's legal. You know, we have those zones around the
yeah.
central station. There's nothing allowed, not even a nail scissor.
We always get
Yeah.
to this topic. Always.
Yeah, I wonder why, Matt.
Especially when Matt's on the show.
Bazookas, baby.
But does this,
So you
Maxi, does this sorry, Keith, but Maxi,
No, go ahead.
does this affect your knife sales? Because from what I've seen in your shop, you sell a lot of knives that are not legal to be carried in Germany, right? Like all the Spyderco one-hand opening, locking,
Yeah.
folding knives and stuff. So does this affect your knife sales?
We had 2 incidents in Germany last year. The first one was that a police officer was killed by a knife in Mannheim, and the tragedy about this is you could see it on a camera. You could see.
Oh
it.
yeah, I saw that video. That was
Yeah.
horrible.
It is, and you can see that was it's kitchen knife. It was a knife,
Yeah,
and
kitchen knife.
after that, they told us, "Oh, we're thinking about to district the the fixed knives. They are allowed with a blade length under 12 centimeters, and they wanna reduce this on under 6 centimeters. So, and after that, this was a very uncertain time for my customers, and the sales broke in. It was not anymore that we have sell any fixed blades for a couple of weeks. So I could see that, yes. And now the knife laws have changed, and it's only the automatic knives are now not anymore allowed. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's okay, but it's it's not ideal. And most of my customers now drive by their car and not anymore with public transportation. So, yeah. Yeah. I think that's what has changed. But yeah, most of my customers are collectors.
Okay.
And it hasn't changed much on that side.
Because all the one-hand opening and locking folding knives are illegal, right?
No, they are legal to
own. Yeah, but not to carry.
own,
That's what I
yeah.
meant. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, but not to carry in public. But it's
Which is a shame because that's the most useful folding knife you'll ever own. One-hand opening,
Yeah.
locking folding knife.
And the safest.
The safest, yeah.
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 And they also say that automatics are still allowed under certain reasons. For example, if you need to do some, how can I say, if you need to do some actions where you need where you have only one hand,
Like
or
a
if you're disabled.
Yeah, like a rescue knife or something, right? If you're fireman or policeman.
Or a climber, or something like that. But you need more to declare yourself.
So there's an interesting knife out from Trollski. Do you know Trollski, Maxi?
Mm-hmm.
He's a knife maker from Poland, and he makes a folding knife that it doesn't lock. It will flip open, but it uses a ball bearing to, like a normal folding knife would have a ball bearing to have the closed position, and his knife uses the same ball bearing for the closed and the open position. So it kind of stays open when it's open, but it's not locked. If you push it, it'll close again. So that's kind of a way to get around that law. I don't know if you're familiar with that knife.
We have it in our shop. The Mando with a double D.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
So that's the knife I carry when I go into Germany.
Yes, that's a good thing. But don't use public transportation.
Keith is American. He doesn't even know what public transportation is. So.
Oh, yeah.
No. I don't walk anywhere. I don't own a bicycle.
See?
I drive.
Told you.
Is it far away or can we drive, right?
Right. So you mentioned before that M390 was a very popular knife steel for folding knives a few years ago. I think it probably still is right now. But I own a knife, and I've never heard of the steel before. It's called M398. Are you familiar with the steel, or Albert, or anybody?
No? M398. Okay.
M390 was not available during COVID, or we had a knife boom during COVID. And so I think they changed into M398 because it was there, but I'm not sure about it. I just have heard it from some sources. But it's maybe an upgrade from M390, but I can't see a difference while using the knife for M390 to M398.
Yeah, this is probably I have two carries I got from Shop by Design, Brian Nadeau. I have the Evo Typhoon. That's M398, and that makes sense because that was made in the COVID time. And the second one is from the Custom Knife Factory.
M390.
And that one's M390.
M390. Yeah. I just need to translate in German. Sorry. And what's the other one?
The other one is a M390. Yeah, I would say probably 90% of my pocket knives are M390 for whatever reason. That just happened to be the steels that they were using. But I actually just looked it up tonight because I didn't know what the steel was. It wasn't printed on the Typhoon that I have, and it was M398, and I've never heard of it before. So
here's what I found on Knife Steel Nerds. M398 has higher wear resistance and hardness than M390, but lower toughness and corrosion resistance. So that's the difference. Higher wear resistance and hardness, but lower toughness and corrosion resistance. That's what Lauren Thomas writes. There's an article on Knife Steel Nerds on the difference between M398 and M390.
Well, I think I've had it for 3 years now and carry it daily and never cleaned it or oiled it or anything, and it's not rusting, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
No, less corrosion resistance doesn't mean that it's gonna rust on you.
It's just less.
Yeah.
Stain less.
Yeah. So, Maxi, what's your favorite EDC folding knife you're allowed to carry or not allowed to carry in Germany?
Oh, it's a Chris Reeve Small Sebenzer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's because my business started with a knife because I was looking for a good knife and for an expensive knife because I couldn't understand that people spend a lot of money for knives, and I bought a small Sebenza, and it was 2016, and I was overwhelmed, and it catched me in that way. So I imported Chris Reeve knives in 2018, and since then I think we mostly import all the knives directly from the USA or China right now. But it was the first brand we imported.
Do you still own it, the knife?
Yes, I think so, but I can't find it right now. It must be in one of the pockets.
You didn't understand why people spend so much money on knives, so you bought a $500 knife.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Right?
Yeah, it was the first expensive knives, and it never stopped since.
Yeah, I had a Sebenza once for a short time. When I first moved over here, I used to, when I went home, I would buy a lot of Sebenzas, Chris Reeve knives, and resell them over here because they were worth more at the time. Buy them for a little while, take pictures, show everybody online, and then sell them and get different ones.
And imagine right now today.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
2 to 6 years waiting time for a Chris Reeve knives. And I mean, this design is old. How old is it? 35 years now?
Yeah.
36. Yeah. And it's amazing. It's like waiting for an expensive watch. That's what I like in the knife industry, that you have some really cool stories behind the knife brands. Spyderco, for example, is always developed some cool things like the pocket clip, and they also developed some very ugly knives. But they do all the crazy things. Yeah, it's amazing, and they still do. They still invent new stuff, and they also test always new steels on their knives. And yeah, I love to be a part of it. It's great.
Yeah, they are making new designs every year, always changing it up a little bit. Yeah, I think one of my other besides the Chris Reeves knife was the Rick Henderer knives. Those were, I really liked that you could kind of like change the handles, change the screws, make it like all your own. Do you carry Henderer knives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also have a slip joint. It's legal to carry. They used to have.
Do you sell more of the knives that are legal to carry than the ones that are okay?
Yeah, we do.
So people seem to care at least somewhat about what's legal, right, or illegal to carry.
No, I don't know if I got you right. We sell more one-hand opening knives.
So you sell more knives that are not legal. Interesting. So people don't care.
Yeah, but I think that's because the customers are collectors.
Yeah, but with a folding knife, usually you want to carry it, right? Not just.
I don't know.
No, you want to sit it on the couch and flick it open 100 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
like
still,
what?
Yeah, I don't get this. I want to carry a folding knife if I have one. So
I don't even look at the laws about that. I just carry whatever. If the police checks my car, I'm fucked. Always.
Yeah, but not everyone's an anarchist, Matt. So
I am.
Yeah.
I'm not an anarchist.
Yeah, you are.
I just don't like.
You
no,
are.
No. It's just a certain type of law.
I'm not an anarchist, but I don't care about the law.
No,
I'm gonna add that to the soundboard.
Yeah.
I mean, we are already outlaws. So.
Yeah. It's like the Wild West out here.
with all these knives,
crazy
folding
people.
Knives.
Do you guys remember your first knife? Your first knife memory?
It's probably my dad's knives. He had a bunch of knives. Yeah.
That was a good story.
Well, he had a bunch of knives. I just always that was the first memory of knives. I was just sneaking out and I like I knew where they were, and then when they weren't around, I would always go play with them, which is terrible because I was very young.
Yeah, I remember mine. So there's a couple of good aspects to the story. So my grandparents lived right next door to my house while I was growing up, and like on the weekends there would be happy hour where you had to go over to grandma and grandpa's house for a little while, and I was pretty young. I don't know how old I was, and they had like this like kind of bed couch kind of fold out thing in their living room, and I had found a small knife. I don't even remember what it was, but it was probably something like the size of one of those Swiss Army knives, so a little tiny blade. And I was supposed to be taking a nap, and I was playing with the knife in there, and I cut myself like pretty bad on my thumb, and my grandmother came in. She heard something going on. She's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, I was playing with the bed trying to unfold it, and I pinched my finger and cut myself." And like, I just don't remember it because I was fucking lying about it.
I remember the first knife I got, the first folding knife my mom bought me when I was 10. We drove down to a shop, and I was allowed to pick out my first folding knife. So I picked a traditional Austrian
From Pakistan.
Knife.
My first knife was
no German
was,
made actually.
Like, how do you call that? It's like a fair where they have all those. How do you call that in English? You know, where they have the slot machines and all that stuff.
That's happening once a year.
How do you call that? Is it fair?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, just like a street fair. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we call it Kirtag.
We say kermis
in German. Kirtag.
But yeah, and they have those cheap ass things. You can win them, you know, if you have enough points. And then it was one of those.
Butterflies.
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
No. Nope. We always used to play this game where you draw like a circle in the sand, and then you drop your knife in there, and then you have to like make a line, and then your friend also does the same, and then it's called something like stealing land or something. You never played that?
Nope.
Damn it! No,
I think
this could have been a good story, but you guys ruined it.
It must be something that those NATO countries do.
those horrible colonizers. Yeah. We were good colonizers.
And Maxi's first knife was a Sabenza, right? Or do you have another story?
I didn't grow up with knives. But my father owned a knife shop, and he was a mastersmith. So for my first salary, I bought multi-tool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This knife. So Swiss Army multi-tool.
Like a Leatherman, you mean? That kind of?
Yeah, kind of a Leatherman, but from Victorinox.
Mm-hmm.
I have the original one from Victorinox right now. I bought it in Switzerland at the original store.
Oh, in Wilbach?
I think so.
That's cool. Victorinox is a very interesting company. They built the workshop in front of the mountain, and they built huge windows for their workers, so they can always watch the mountains while working.
Oh, wow.
And I think they do this exercises every 2 hours where they are moving like yoga or something like that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This is
Okay.
yeah, very cool to see how they do that, how they treat their co-workers.
Employees, yeah, we need more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you want to do yoga? You can
Yeah.
get a knife material .at thing.
You can do a yoga podcast and yoga episode. Knife yoga for knife makers. So don't sit too long. Move.
Yeah, that's good for people that are grinding a lot. You got to move your head up, get your neck moving around and shit. If you're just staring down at the grinder, you get pretty stiff. Albert does that a lot with his knife making classes. So Albert does classes also, and he has sometimes like 10, 15 people in this class, and they all go to lunch, and him and Andy go into the grinding room and grind while everybody's eating. So you got pretty efficient at it.
Yeah, but only if we have like 10 to 15
You should
people.
do like,
Usually
instead of lunch,
go
you
with
should do
them
like
for
a
lunch.
yoga session. You hand out those yoga pants to everyone.
We should do a short for YouTube.
Yeah.
We want to see it.
Yes. That would be great.
Yeah. Like 15 students
Yeah.
doing yoga in
Yes.
the forge. That's
Watch yoga.
fuck lunch. Let's
So
do
you can-
yoga instead.
You can use your Sony camera.
Albert in
for
yoga
a good
pants with a VersaFlow on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you can, like,
Yeah.
for lunch, you can all give them a nice salad.
Usually we join them for lunch, so it's only if there's too many students that we have to stay in the shop.
So Maxi, is there anything else you want to share with us? Is there some projects you're working on? Some kind of new knives that are coming in, or tell us?
Yes. I wanted to tell you about this thing we did on YouTube. It's thing how can dealers like me work together with knife makers, and I want to share this story because I loved it. Sometimes we sell knives as well, but it's not really efficient for us because they are only available once, and it's it's expensive to take pictures and something like that. So it's usually custom knives from knife makers are not very. Well, how can I say it? It's a lot of work to do, and so we invented kind of a new thing. We tried it out, and it works very good. So we had a couple of custom knives from a custom knife maker, and we made on our YouTube channel a show. And we introduced his knives on the show, and the knife maker was also there. It's like a video call. And he told us about the knife. He told us how he made the handle material and what it was and like that. And after that, we took the knife and it was online, ready to buy, and the customers could buy it on a show. The same time. It was like a home shopping television, but it was a really cool thing because the knife maker could tell a story about it and why he used that steel and this material, and that was a very, very great thing, and I would love to do that more often. It's
So you're basically asking for custom knife makers to
team up with dealers.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
That's a good idea. Yeah, just like you said, the home shopping thing just used to be on TV.
Telcel.
Yeah.
It was a really cool experience. I mean, the video is still available, but it's in German. It was a great evening. It was like the customers could talk to the knife maker. It was also with a live chat.
Yeah.
They could ask the questions and they could talk to each other. It's a great thing.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation.
That sounds kind of like the Diamond Steel Invitational that just happened. Similar, where people could go on and talk to the makers and see their knives and buy them.
It's more, it's more direct than Instagram or Facebook ever will be, because they are there right now. It's like a show, but you can buy the knives. I don't know. Some people want to buy the knives online because they are more visible. Some are maybe shy or don't buy on shows.
Yeah.
And for knife makers, it's a great choice to be more visible. Usually, knife makers don't want to spend much time in marketing and things like that because they want to build knives.
Yeah, most of them
I
aren't
can
good at that
absolutely
stuff.
understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for us as knife dealers, it's a great way to show how much love puts a knife maker in a knife. We can only say, this is a custom knife and it has a blade length of that and that. And when you see the knife maker is telling a story about his knife, it was very awesome. It was very inspirational. Great moment. And I also think we should do more shows for knife makers, like you all said.
Yeah, definitely.
The Austrian show is great.
So if we have any of our listeners that are interested in something like that, where could they get a hold of you if they wanted to do one of those live shows with you?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Do you have a email address or Instagram, or what's the best way for them to contact you if they were interested in that?
It's info@knifelounge.com. Yeah. Or Instagram, or just contact us. But we are pretty full for this year,
Yeah.
This is the thing is we do YouTube videos every Monday our reports and we this Live Maker Show is the second video we do I think 2 or 3 times a year. We wanna plan to do that.
What's your YouTube channel? What can they get?
The YouTube channel is Knife Lounge.
Everything Knife Lounge on all the social media platforms.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
So what we done? That's a project we just started, and it's a good thing. So I would also recommend for knife makers to have a YouTube channel or a Facebook group up to Instagram, because you don't know what happens with Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the knife makers that have their own YouTube and their own Instagram and even showing up on podcasts, it's definitely a huge benefit, but also time consuming, and you got to put in the work if you want to sell it. Well, what do you guys think? Was that a show? Or do you guys have any more questions?
It's a show.
Yeah.
It is.
A good one.
That was a good one, yeah. I know Baltic Blades is going to be upset and have all kinds of things that he wished that I had asked you, because he was really interested in this episode.
He's definitely going to reach out, I think.
So we would definitely like to have you on again if you had fun and you're willing to do that.
Yeah. I want to. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Open invitation.
Yeah. Go find Knife Lounge on Instagram, Facebook, X, all the platforms, YouTube. Follow them, buy some knives, help support a family-owned company, I guess, right? You and your father did this, and you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a family-owned, a small business. So thank you so much for having me, and have a good night.
Yep, you too.
You too. Thank you.
We will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Ta-da.